girls.
All right. My name is Mandy, and Suzie is going to talk to you about being a good leader. And so to start that, I thought that I would share 3 tips on being successful, because to be a good leader in this, you have to be successful. You have to know what you're doing. And I personally can say when I stopped doing these 3 things, my business stopped. I did really great. I started coaching in February, and February, March, April, and I think May, I was a Success Club starter. I hit it every month. I got a free ticket to Summit. I couldn't go. And then summer hit, and I stopped doing these things, and I fell off the wagon, and I'm getting back on now. But these are 3 really important things. So the first one is be a product of the product. Post your progress. Post yourself working out, share recipes, share your successes, and share struggles. You're human. People they wanna see that you're relatable. And even though, yes, we're all striving to be healthy and work out, things happen, life happens, and people want to see that it doesn't have to be perfect and that you're doing this, Anyway, so be a product of the product, though. Share. I actually recently realized how much, when I was sharing back in February, March, and all of that, what it meant. I had people, I reconnected with some people recently from high school that I hadn't talked to in years. And some of the first things that they said to me were, "We love keeping up with you on Facebook. You're so inspirational and motivational." Some people mentioned they started working out and changing their diet just because of the posts that I was putting on there. And so it was really fun and inspiring to see that just my posts were reaching people that I had no idea. Number 2 would be consistency. Being consistent, and that goes with sharing and just getting out there. Use the Buffer app. When I use the Buffer app, life's a lot easier. Talk to your challengers. Sorry, guys, I'm a little nervous. Anyway, so talk to your challengers, just stay on top of it, be consistent, because people do notice. And Suzie actually today called them ghost Facebookers. Even though they might not be liking your post, they might not be commenting, and you might not be talking to them, people see it, and you'd be surprised who you're reaching just from that. And then the third one is your professional development.
I can't get audio.
It was designed to replace all existing $100 bills.
And I don't know why.
CIS get this? Oh, no, I'm dead body.
The third one is professional development. Read books, listen. There's tons of things out there. There's podcasts, YouTube videos. I know stuff. I know Gold Diggers. Brooke is always sharing stuff. Use that. They have good tips, and it will help you be successful in your business and help you be a successful leader. That is all I have.
Awesome, Mandy. Good job. Does anybody else have any quick tips that are really working for them as new coaches, or experience with not doing something and then realizing that really is a vital behavior for a certain reason? I know for me, I tried to work at 8 months without doing personal development. I was like, I'm good. I don't need to do any development. That didn't work.
Yep, we've all been there. We've all thought that personal development was not necessary. So, all right. Well, if nobody else wants to add, I'll go ahead and write into my slideshow or telling you guys about me. If you guys haven't muted, because I don't have control, if you haven't muted your screen, if you could do that. If you're on Zoom, the bottom left-hand corner is just mute. So if you could just do that, I really appreciate it. And if you're on the phone, I don't know what it is, but if you could mute it. So I'm Suzie. For those of you guys that don't know me, I started coaching at the end of December, beginning of January. Kristen is my upline, and I just kind of hit the ground running. And Mandy is one of my PS coaches, and she's killing it. And she has such an amazing story. And we were talking on the phone today about it. And, she realized when you don't do those 3 things, it almost is like it crumbles. And, she made a difference and came back this month, and she's going to kill it this month. I know she is. But we're just going to go over how I think that you should become a leader. And well, some successful things on being a leader, if I can screen share this. Okay. Bear with me. Okay. So, okay, hopefully you can see this. Mandy, can you see this? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, okay, good. All right, thanks. So in order for you to be successful, I think, in Beachbody, and for you to be successful for your coaches and for your challengers, you need to be a leader. And this is for yourself, for your challengers, for your coaches, for the team, for everybody. And you need to lead others to success just as your upline has done and just as you want your coaches to do when they become leaders themselves. So these are a few quick tips, and I'll go into depth in a second with them. So staying organized is probably the number one thing. If you're not organized, everything's going to be shot to shit. So you need to stay organized. Whether you are a paper person, paper pen, or Google Docs, it's really important. Team pages. When we're a team, we are all in this together. So when someone posts or a photo like Brooke or me or Mandy, like, you should like it or comment. You should be present so that your coaches will be present and the rest of the team. And the same goes with, someone's Facebook timeline. And the reason for that is because now Facebook allows us to see who has liked those photos or who has seen those photos. So it says like, oh, Suzie Jackson saw this, yet she didn't comment or like, why did she do that? So if you are present, they will be present. Communication, staying connected with your challenges, your upline coach, your PS coaches, and your success partner. And I'll go exaggerate or extend on that in a second. And then team calls. Kudos to you guys all for being on tonight, because this is awesome. It's great to see everyone's face. They're so important. Getting your PS coaches started right within days of signing them up is critical. Personal development, as Brooke and Mandy just mentioned, and being passionate. So I'm going to go over each of those. So number one, staying organized. Really important to keep a list of your contacts, your challengers, your leads, whether it's in Google Docs or a notebook. Super important whenever I talk to a lead or someone messages me, and it's fitness related, or if they comment on my post, I write down, their name. Like today, this girl named Lindsay, I've been messaging her back and forth just about life. And today she asked me about the 21-day fix. And so I wrote her name in my list, and I wrote October. I wrote like Lindsay, and then I wrote October, and then I wrote 21-day fix. And then she hasn't responded, so I'm just kind of waiting. And if she ignores me, I'll write ignored, or if whatever her comment is, like not now, I'll write that down. That way, in a couple months, when I still haven't heard from Lindsay, or if she hasn't bought a challenge pack, I can follow back up with her, and I can kind of relate back to what we talked about with my notes, so I don't have to like go back and read her message. So just keeping a list of all that, that's really, really important. Make a dream team list. I encourage all of my PS coaches to do this, and I think it's really important because this is who you think maybe one day is going to make a good coach. Doesn't matter if you haven't talked to them in 10 years. Put their name down on that list. If you think they're going to strive to be a good coach one day, if you think they motivate you or inspire you or others, write it down. Even if they're not Facebook friends with you, write it down. And eventually you'll reach out to that person, and you should always be adding to the list. I think last week I added 5 to 10 people alone. I maybe have not messaged them yet, but it's always really important to have a dream team list. Using the back office. There are so many great resources in there. Part of staying organized is knowing what's there in the back office and knowing how to use the back office. So definitely take advantage of that. Also, the file sections in Facebook, whether it's in FitForce or Goal Diggers or your team, super important. This is a great place. Everything's kind of already been done for us. And like this week, for example, I'm leading a What Is Coaching group, and Brooke already has everything done for us. So it's in the file section of Goal Diggers. So I'm literally just copying and pasting and adding my own thing to it, and it's already there. So like, use the file section. Templates are in there, words, everything is in there. Power hour. When you're to stay organized during your power hour, make a list of those things that you're going to do, stick to it, don't get distracted, and make the best use of that hour. I know a really good tip that I've been giving my coaches is use a timer. Put your phone away. Don't do anything on it. Don't scroll on the timeline on Facebook. Do the stuff that's on your list. Don't waste that hour and doing other stuff that isn't on your list. And then remember, it's okay to learn as you go. We are learning every day in this business and life in general. So it's okay to learn. It's okay to ask questions. Communication. This is so important. You need to keep an open communication with your personal sponsors, coaches. You need to be there for them every step of the way. Don't ever go ghost on them. This is so important with your coaches and with your challengers. Like, you are there for your challengers. They signed up because they believed in you, and you need to help them. Like, don't just forget about them. This is super, super important, because our job is to help them have success. And if we're just like, oh, here's your challenge back, see you later, and we step away, they're never going to come back to us, and they're definitely not going to want to coach. Because most of the time, our best coaches, or all the time, our best coaches come from our challenge groups. So it's really important to keep that relationship with your challengers, because they, most of the time, I think 8 times out of 10, turn into either preferred customers, which then turn into coaches. Messages. I know a lot of times our messages in text or in our Facebook can get, blown up, and we don't want to respond. But I wrote 12 hours here. That is like really, really nice. I would do, I don't know, and Brooke, we can talk about this later, but I would probably do it in less than that. I mean, if someone is messaging me and they're talking to me about a program, I am on the ball and I'm messaging them back. Because think about it this way. If I'm messaging Brooke and I'm like, hey, Brooke, can I borrow your Red Bull? And she never messages me back. And I'm like, well, I really need that Red Bull. Like, why isn't she messaging me? And then she messaged me back on Saturday when I already could have used the Red Bull. Like, I'm going to be annoyed. So, like, put yourself in their shoes. Like, they want to know this information fast. So you want to be responding quickly. Ow, Frankie, sorry. My dog just bit me. So you want to be responding fast to these people.
I think that's a really, really great point. And I actually try to do it within like 6 hours. So if they're going to message me in the morning, like, I'm definitely going to get back to them before the afternoon, especially if it's about a brand new program and they're not my customer yet. Because otherwise, you're right. There's advertisements for this stuff all over the place. So they'll find someone else if they want it now.
Exactly. And I mean, I put 12 hours, and that's like a really nice cushion. Like, I don't use 12 hours. If I'm not messaging that person back within the day, I think they're gone. You need to do it quickly. Because just like Brooke said, they're going to go somewhere else. Like, sorry, tough luck. Communicating with your upline coach is really important. Like, I get it. Life happens. Like, we've got shit going on too, but communicate with your upline coach. Like, reach out to them, talk to them. They want to know what you're doing. We want to know what you're doing. And I want to talk to my upline coach because I want to know what she's doing, and I need her for help and assistance sometimes. So it's really important to have that relationship. And also, so we know what's going on, whether like maybe something happened in your personal life and you should share it with us, and maybe not, it's important to communicate with upline. And then it's also good to ask questions, as I said before. Success partner. Most of us have a success partner. If you don't have one, we can talk about getting you one. This is great. Heather Hayes is my success partner. And we have been success partners since we both started coaching, and we just really hit the ground running. And whenever I need ideas or posts or challenge questions, I ask her, or I ask Mandy, or Kristen. Like, those are my 3 go-tos, and they're there. They respond. They help me. We're just kind of like helping each other. We bounce ideas off each other constantly. So success partners are really helpful. Team calls. Here's Frankie from last week's team call, hanging out with the team. Do not miss them. I cannot say this enough. And I know Kristen went over this a couple weeks ago. Like, they're so important. And when I get off team calls, like, I am ready to go. Like, I'm amped up. I mean, it's so awesome to see everybody out tonight on this call. Like, it shows me that you guys care, that you're all here. And it shows the rest of the team that you care. And it shows that you care about this business. about becoming successful and becoming a leader on your own. So that in itself says a lot. So if you already are on this call, other people are going to want to get on this call with you if you're on it every week. And you're learning new and important information every call. Yes, some of it is redundant because we need to be doing those 3 vital behaviors and we cannot say it enough, but it's the truth. And when you're on these team calls, it shows your team that you're making an effort, and it shows your personal sponsored coaches how important these calls are. Getting started right. As a leader, for you to be successful, it is so, so important for you to get your coaches started right ASAP, like within days of signing them up. So like, let's say Sarah Johnson signed up this week. Like I talked to her and I'm like, hey, Sarah, like, let me know when a good time is for you to talk on the phone or meet in person. And don't let a week go by. Like, do it within days. Like, while it's fresh in their hair, like they just signed up, you get blasted about in Gold Diggers, like this new coach, blah, blah, and you're like all amped up. And then your upline coach just goes ghost. Like, don't do that. Get them started on trainings and be there for them. Help them to begin the process and really communicate with them and help them get started right. So important. Personal development, because we don't say it enough. These are my 4 favorite books: Fish, Girl Boss Badass, and Who Moved My Cheese. Fish and Who Moved My Cheese, if no one has read those, they're under 100 pages and they are awesome. I cannot say it enough. If you ever have a doubt in your mind about being negative or anything, Fish and Who Moved My Cheese are great. And you're a badass and girl boss, enough said. But personal development, it really just helps you better understand yourself. Like whenever I'm having a shitty day and I'm like, oh, I can read, I'll go home. Like it makes you feel better. Like I know that sounds really stupid, but it really does. And it helps you with your goals and your life purpose, whether it's in this business, whether it's in school, like I'm a teacher, whether it's at school or whatever. Ever since I started doing personal development, in January of last year, my very first 6 months as being a coach, my personal life and my relationship with my boyfriend got so much better. I know that sounds crazy because I cared more. And it was amazing what a difference personal development makes, not only in your business, but also in your life, in your personal life. And it just helps you, live your life better. I don't know. I can't say enough about it. And if you're stressed out, this is a really good thing to turn to. And it just helps you build better relationships with people because all of these books talk about being positive and working with people. I can't say enough about personal development. Super important. Be passionate. If you're not passionate about this business or being a coach, no one's going to want to join you and no one's going to want you to lead. No one's going to want to follow you in a challenge group. Share your life, share everything, be passionate about this business. And when you talk to people, be passionate about it, tell them why you love coaching, how it's changing your life, and show everybody. And eventually they might want to join you. And if not, sorry, haters going to hate. So what? Just be passionate, live your life, and just really, really share it. These are a couple quick tips from some of the leaders on our team. I asked them to share a couple things with me. And they kind of said the same things that I mentioned in the PowerPoint, but really be motivational and be genuinely you. Like you're here sharing your life. Don't fake it or be somebody you're not. Like these people know you and they're going to know if you're faking. Like just be you. And when you do start coaching, just jump right in. I think that's the best way for us to learn is just get started. Like just do it and ask questions along the way. And everybody is here to guide each other and help each other. I mean, we're just one big, huge, positive, energizing community here to help each other. Challenge groups, really, really important. Everybody should be leading their own. After that, like the sooner you lead a challenge group, the better. And once you start coaching, you should be leading one a month on your own. I know a lot of us diamond coaches, we lead our own and then we have our personal sponsored coaches come underneath our wings and come with us. But eventually you're going to have to go out on your own and, do it. And you learn a lot. As soon as you begin to lead your own challenge groups, you learn a lot about what goes into it and what it takes to be a leader in these challenge groups. And, be independent. this is your business. You're your own CEO. So do you, and do it the way that works for you. We all have a different way that works for us, and you have to find a balance that works for you. But show responsibility in that you can do this all on your own. Like, you don't need anybody dragging you along or, spoon feeding you. Like, we all kind of are being spoon fed because everything's been done already. Thank you, Brooke. But you do it on your own. Like, that's really what it is about. Just be your awesome girl boss or boy boss. And then this is where I will leave off, but you need to be the example. If you are on team calls, if you are doing personal development and following the 3 vital behaviors, your coaches are going to do it. If you want your coaches to post daily, hit Success Club, get on team calls, everything, you got to be on top of your game every single day. And if you're not, they're not going to do it. And that is so important. Because, look at like Lauren and Brooke and Kristen and everybody on this team and Amy, like we're all doing exactly what our uplines are doing because they did it and because it's working for them. And now because we're doing it, we want our personal sponsor coaches to do it. So this is so important. Like, you just need to be on top of your game and really, really, be present. And do all these things if you want your coaches to do it. So I know that I probably talked a mile a minute, but I can post this in the file section of Gold Digger so everyone can get all the golden nuggets. But hold on, let me stop my share. But I think, that's the biggest takeaway. You have to be the example so that they will be the example for their coaches and for everybody else on the team. Because it's going to take a lot. It's going to take some work. And if you're not doing it, they're not going to do it. So I think that's the best advice I can give on being a leader. You need to lead just like we've been led by your upline and whatever other people on the team. And that way, together, we can all come together and be awesome.
That was awesome, Suzie.
Thanks.
Yay! Big round of applause for Suzie. Who has questions for her? That was really, really, really great.
Thank you. Yes, ask questions, please.
What do you guys think? Because most people on here have a coach or two. So are you taking control of your team? Are you leading them? Are you leading by example? What's hard? What's not? What's easy? What's working? Anyone?
Crickets.
Crickets. Melissa, what's working for you? You got a whole squad over there.
I knew I was going to get picked on.
Yeah, I saw you trying to sink back into your pillow.
Let's see.
How often are you in touch with your coaches, and are you giving them responsibilities to do to try and develop leaders within your team as well?
I'm trying. My issue is just, people sign up to be coaches, but a lot of people, it's like, well, I'll do it soon. I'll do it eventually. They're in school. They're taking a class.
Yeah. No, and those people are, they're still trying to figure out their role as a coach. But anybody that is like working the business, you want to work with the willing and find the ones that are the real go-getters. And the ones that are the real go-getters, they're the ones zooming through the playbook. They're the ones posting. They're the ones learning and listening to YouTubes on their own. They're the ones on this call. Hi, all you go-getters. And, they're the ones that really want to go with the business. So that's when those are the kind of people you give, jobs to, and you give them little responsibilities to help them grow as well.
And with that, those people that are, like, I'm busy with school or whatever, the best thing that I've learned is you have to like kind of back off and don't ask them about the business anymore and kind of let them do their own thing, because as long as they're in Gold Diggers or watching, they'll come back around. And if they don't, it wasn't right for them. It is what it is, no hard feelings. But the best thing is just don't pressure. You don't want to force anybody or pressure anybody into do anything, because everybody's in this for themselves. Everybody has their own business and everybody is their own CEO. So you don't want to be like, well, you have to do this. You actually have to do this. Because then everyone's gonna be like, well, I'm fine. Like,
Right.
You don't want to push anybody.
They go ghost.
Yes.
I think a lot of times too, a lot of the discount coaches, they get hooked, they start like joining challenge groups, getting involved. They just get psyched,
Right.
And I think when you're motivating and you're like that, then they're going to catch on to it. So.
Mm-hmm. So on that note, like Suzie's slide about being passionate, right? Like, have you ever walked into a store and you're like, I don't care what it is that you're trying to get me to do, but whatever you're doing, I want to do it, because they're just so passionate about what they're doing and they're so excited. And that, just being excited about what it is you're doing is going to go so far for someone else. And, being you and being unique, because that's what sets you apart from the next coach.
Yep.
I loved it, Suzie. That was a very good presentation.
This isn't about a question, but Mandy mentioned the ghost Facebookers. So those are like the people that are always watching, but you just never know because they don't like or they don't comment. And I don't know if Nikki is listening in on this call, but she had an awesome thing happen to her yesterday. And I told Frankie, and I told Mandy about it earlier. She had a guy message her, out of the blue, and was like, I did it, Nikki. I bought my first challenge pack. This picture motivated me. And it literally was a picture of, excuse me, Frankie. It literally was a picture of her shaker bottle. Like, so random, not a face picture, like literally just a shaker bottle. And he was like, I can't wait for you to be your coach, you to be my coach. And Nikki like literally was like, what? Like, I'm so confused. And this guy like went on the website, didn't have her website because she hadn't talked to him, and bought a thing and bought a challenge pack because he was motivated, because he's one of those ghosters, never commented, never liked her Facebook stuff. She didn't even know she was Facebook friends with him. Like, it was one of those things. And he's now in our challenge group.
Ah, that's awesome.
Cool. But yeah, you never know who's watching. And like Mandy said, she got a lot of comments in the past couple of months about her awesome story. And, you never know who's watching. It's so true. And like you had that message earlier this week, Brooke.
Yeah, I know. I have no idea who that was. But that's great. Yep, you never know. Especially once you start adding, people that aren't really, your friends. It's great.
Can I add to that, Brooke?
Sure.
So I got this random message this week from a coach on another team, I assume, who she's like, hey girl, just wanted to let you know I'm running this 21-day fixed challenge group, and I really think you'd be great in the group. Are you familiar with it? And wanted to give me all this information. And I'm like, yeah, I'm familiar. I'm a coach. And so I just wrote back and I said, yeah, I'm a coach also, so I'm really familiar with it. And I secretly kind of wanted to send her a note back and be like, you really need to know who you're messaging. And that's why, going back to what Suzie said with those, keeping track of who you're talking to, where you're adding people from, because we are adding random-ish people to our network. You need to kind of keep track of where you got them from, when you talked to them last, what you talked to them last about. Otherwise, you're going to look like a complete asshole when you send somebody a message who's already a coach.
Well, and that person just didn't even go to your page, I'm guessing.
and when I wrote, I'm a coach, she's like, oh yeah, I love your posts. And I'm like, no, you're just blasting everyone. So just be aware of who you're messaging, and really, when you do send those messages to people, put a personal spin on it. If you're copying and pasting one of Lauren's or Brooke's or Suzie's or whoever's posts, I always add a personal thing about them. So with Jason, maybe I would say, send that message. But at the beginning, I'd say, have you been playing any basketball lately? So it's kind of more catered to them, and it doesn't seem like that random, try my mascara thing.
So true.
That's it.
No, and I know a couple other people on the team have gotten random messages like that too. A good rule of thumb is to always either go to their Facebook page and check out what they're doing, or look at mutual friends. So if I go to message Amy and I'm like, oh my God, we have 45 mutual friends. Well, no shit, because they're all Beachbody people. I'm not going to message her randomly about hey, join my challenge group. So you just got to pay attention. So
I love it. But so everybody, I'm pretty sure almost everybody has one person at least on their team. So you're already a leader. You own your own business. So take responsibility for it. I mean, just do it. Nike. And then one big other piece of advice, and this is like the hardest thing for me just in life, is to be patient. Because when you start getting a whole bunch of new coaches, like they all are going to ask the same questions. Because, I mean, I just did a Get Started Right call with Elizabeth, and I feel so bad because I'm just like throwing up information because I want her to have all of these like tools and resources to like, you know, be successful. And, you know, obviously she's not going to remember all of that because nobody can remember that much. So they're going to ask questions, and they're going to ask questions multiple times, and that's what we're there for. And that's what our coaches were there for us. And that's, I mean, we do need to let them know that that where they can find the information, but definitely be patient and always be positive with new coaches and extra enthusiastic.
Yeah, and always respond to your coaches like ASAP. Always respond to your coaches and your challengers like ASAP. Like they are your first priority. Like they are the reason you made Success Club last month. So like if a challenger is reaching out, you're responding pretty quickly. Because if not, like they're going to go to the challenge group and ask for help, and then you're just going to look like an asshole or whatever. Like just make sure that you are in contact with them all the time. Sorry for my language.
Okay, makes it fun. Let's take a picture. Everybody smile. We have big things coming up tomorrow. I know 2 people on here have a big day coming. Ready? Everybody smile pretty. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. It's gonna be really exciting. So like I said every week, make sure when you see people going Emerald or you see new coaches that you are just blowing it up on their page, because that is really, really huge.
Yes. And like always posting, like
comment.
you can see who looked at it. So, I mean, like I feel bad when like Kristen sees that I viewed something in our team page and I didn't like it. Like I feel bad. So like I make sure I like and comment everything, you know, like you should be present if you want the rest of your team and the rest of our team to be present. Super important.
There's so many new people on here. Don't be shy, guys.
Awesome.
Jenna, you're all lit up. Do you have a question? You're like, mute.
No questions. I'm just I just don't know how to mute and unmute this thing. I'm still learning.
Oh, no problem. How's it going for you so far?
Good. I mean, I really haven't done anything yet. I've been here for what, Kate, like 7 days? So
Yeah, probably less than.
I'm just starting. I don't know a lot. That's why I'm joining the calls and learning.
That's a great place to start. So good for you. Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right. Well, have a good week, everybody. I'll be in the car again Saturday for a really long time if anybody wants to chat. Is that Nikki?
Yeah. Nikki, is that you?
Sorry, my windows are down. I'm driving. I was just going to see if anybody's going to Super Saturday, like maybe the Richmond one.
Natalie's going to the one in Springfield.
Gotcha.
Nikki's going to Richmond.
Oh, I didn't know there was one in Richmond.
I know. I talked to the lady today. I'm so excited. I'm going to go. I'm in Emily.
You should post in Gold Diggers and tell people that there is one in Richmond, because I'm not sure people know that maybe.
Okay.
And then I'll tag all of our people.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks, Brooke.
And then I know Stephanie Rooney is going to go to the one here in Springfield too, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think she is too.
I think she is.
How often do they do them?
Who said that? Oh, quarterly. Once a quarter.
Because I was going to say I hate to miss this one because I've yet to make it, so I'm going to try to make sure I plan for the next one.
I looked it up, but I can't remember what the date was.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's probably end of January.
Yeah, I think it's January or February, beginning of February.
Alrighty. Well, you guys have a good night and a great week. And don't forget the Crockpot Challenge next week if you haven't advertised for that. That's going to be really fun. And that's all I have. And check in with your people in the sneak peek. And if anybody becomes coaches, make sure you post them in there as well. But if no one has said anything yet, you can tag them in a post and just check in on them. All right. Bye, guys.
Thanks for getting on, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.